Hi, everyone. It's Miss Morris, and I am going to be talking to you today about subjects and predicates. Okay, let's begin. A sentence is a whole thought. The tall tree with many branches. Uh-oh, that's not a whole thought. Played in the wet sand. Oh my goodness, that is not a whole thought either. What played in the wet sand? The tall tree with many branches. Well, what happened to the tree? In order for something to be a complete sentence, it has to be a whole thought. The tall tree with many branches fell right onto the road. Now that sounds like a whole thought. Little Andy played in the wet sand. That sounds like a whole thought too. And now we know who played in the wet sand. So, what makes something a whole thought? Well, to be a whole thought, you need to have the right parts. The two main parts of a sentence are the subject and the predicate. Together, a subject and a predicate make a whole thought. Subject, predicate, complete thought. And a whole thought is a sentence. Now, isn't that special? Warning. A totally complete sentence also needs a capital letter at the beginning and an end mark at the end. Including these things are vital to your writing health. And they will also make your teacher very happy. So, the subject of a sentence tells who or what the sentence is about. Sometimes we call the subject the naming part. A subject, it tells who or what. The tall tree with many branches fell right onto the road. What is this sentence about? A subject is subject. It tells who or what. What fell right into the road? That's right. A tall tree with many branches fell right into the road. The tall tree with many branches is the subject because it tells what the sentence is about. It's the naming part. Little Andy played in the wet sand. Who is this sentence about? That's right. It's about little Andy. He is the subject of the sentence. It tells who the sentence is about. It's the naming part. The second part of a complete sentence is the predicate. The predicate of a sentence tells what the subject does or did. Sometimes we call the predicate the telling part. The predicate, it tells about the subject. The subject, it tells who or what. The predicate, it tells about the subject. The tall tree with many branches fell right into the road. What did the tall tree with many branches do? It fell right into the road. Fell right into the road is the predicate. It tells what the subject did. It's the telling part. Little Andy played in the wet sand. The predicate, it tells about the subject. But we know the subject is little Andy. And what did little Andy do? That's right. He played in the wet sand. Played in the wet sand is the predicate. It tells what the subject did. It's the telling part. The subject of a sentence tells who or what the sentence is about. That's the naming part. The predicate of the sentence tells what the subject does or did, and that is the telling part. So let's try finding the subject and the predicate of a sentence, shall we? We shall. The whole family listens to the radio program every Saturday morning. You might not even know what a radio is because you're young. But in this sentence, the whole family listens to the radio program every Saturday morning. Let's see if we can't figure out the subject. Who listens to the radio program every Saturday morning? That's right. The whole family listens to the radio program every Saturday morning. And what does the whole family do? That's right. They listen to the radio program every Saturday morning. The subject tells who or what the sentence is about. The predicate tells more about the subject. And it tells, what does the whole family do? They listen to the radio program every Saturday morning. This is a complete sentence with two important parts, the subject and the predicate. Let's try another one. 4 lions chased the zebra away from the watering hole. Ooh. 4 lions chased the zebra away from the watering hole. What is this sentence about? You're right. It is about 4 lions. And what are those lions doing? They chased the zebra away from the watering hole. That's the predicate. Hey, I've noticed a pattern. The predicate always seems to begin with the main verb. So when I find the subject, I'm finding the main noun, the who or the what. When I'm finding the predicate, I'm finding the start of the verb, the main verb in the sentence. So when I look at 4 lions chased the zebra away from the watering hole, chased is a verb. A verb is an action word. Chased is a verb and it starts my predicate. Now it's a complete sentence. Now let's see if you can do it without the hints. I bet you can. Whoa, Miss Morris almost dropped her computer. Okay, let's take a look at our next sentence, no hints. Aunt Betty loves pretty white flowers. What is the subject? Now, what is the predicate? Let's see if you were right. Aunt Betty is the subject because who loves pretty white flowers? Aunt Betty. The predicate tells what the subject is doing. Yes, Aunt Betty loves pretty white flowers. And that was the predicate. Now it is a complete sentence. How about this one? A thunderstorm washes away all of the footprints. A subject, it tells who or what? A predicate, it tells about the subject. In the sentence, a thunderstorm washes away all of the footprints. What is the predicate? Not the subject, the predicate. To find the predicate, I've got to find the verb. Ooh, I see it. Washes away all of the footprints. And it's asking me, what is the subject? The subject is going to be the naming noun. What is this sentence about? A thunderstorm. Washes away all of the footprints. That's the predicate. A thunderstorm is the subject. Did you get that one right? I hope you did. Now this is a complete sentence with a subject and a predicate. It also has a capital letter and an end mark too. Are you noticing any patterns yet? Have you noticed that the subject comes before the predicate? It usually happens that way. The subject usually comes first. Now, isn't that special? Have you noticed anything about the first word in each predicate? I have. The tall tree with many branches fell right into the road. Little Andy played in the wet sand. The whole family listens to the radio program every Saturday morning. 4 lions chase the zebra away from the watering hole. A thunderstorm washes away all of the footprints. Aunt Betty loves pretty white flowers. Look at these circles. What is Miss Morris circling? Well, what do all of these words have in common? These are all verbs. Most verbs are action words. Fell, played, listens, chased, washes, loves. These are all verbs. All sentences have a verb. And normally, the first word of the predicate is the verb. If you can find the verb in a sentence, you can find the predicate. Finding the verb can help you find where the predicate begins. Find the subject, find the predicate. If you aren't sure, try finding the verb first. Ready? We sleep in the tent all the time during the summer. If you're not sure what the subject is, then find the verb. What do? You sleep. Who sleeps? We do. If you can find the verb, then you can normally find the subject by asking who or what. The subject is we, and sleep in the tent all the time during the summer. Notice that the predicate is a complete phrase. It's not just the verb by itself, it's the verb plus extra information that tells about the subject. So the complete predicate is sleep in the tent all the time during the summer. You need all those extra words, starting with the verb, to tell about the subject. The canoe floated down the river. What did it do? It floated. Now that I found my verb, I can say, what floated? Ah, the canoe. The canoe is the subject, and floated down the river is the predicate. Now it is a complete sentence. Boys and girls, you have done a great job hanging with Miss Morris and looking at many subjects and predicates of sentences. Now it's time for you to do some on your own. Okay? If you need to re-listen to this video, listen to it as many times as you need. But remember, a subject, it tells who or what. A predicate, it tells about the subject. You can do it. Have a great week.